Hi, my name's Lawrence. My birthday is September 12th, 1991. On September 11th, 2018, my father, who was unmarried, had an accident where he went more than 5 minutes without oxygen, which ended up being the cause, I think, to his death 60 years later, but we're not there yet. Long story short, what I'm just now realizing, all this took place between 2018 and 2016. My name is Lawrence McLaughlin. His name is Larry McLaughlin. When this happened, he was unmarried and I was his only child. I was at the hospital and I was never communicated with about the decision making on his behalf, whether or not to continue putting him on life support, whether or not it was in his interest or mine to keep him alive for 6 years, then let him die to infection from this, that, and the third. And now I am trying to process it as the best of my ability. Long story short, this is where I came to conclude with it. At first, it was an idea of a wrongful death. Then there was other legal situations where somebody had guardianship over him. But the core issue of the situation reflects in patient privacy and how hospitals handle contacting the next of kin. I was never contacted for whatever reason. And not only was I on the premises, I've had surgery at that hospital and I know they had my contact information and we share the same name. So I'm trying to find legal counsel for neglect, which other things stem from, but the core issue, I need to find legal counsel to someone who could take this information. I have more information to explain, but I think I came down to the core of it. I was never contacted. So anything that happened after that, it falls into their hands. So he might have been naturally processing and perishing, but because of them not following the guidelines at which they set, they accepted that responsibility. And that's my understanding of neglect. We could speak all day on terminology and how it goes about and what I'm saying. Or it was a wrongful death. Well, there was a trach that failed, this, that, and the third. Never once was I ever contacted or spoke with directly, ever. And we have the same name. And now I need legal counsel for it. But yeah, it's a shitty situation. It sucks. Spring load off of a bitch's back. Anyways, nonetheless, that has nothing to do with it. Yeah, this is where this is. He died last year, July 11th or 13th, sometime. It's been a year since his death. At first, I thought it was going to be something along the lines of a wrongful death suit. And then I noticed before we even got there, while he was in the hospital for 6 years, when I did start seeking legal representation, not knowing how to legally approach it, I was met with questions. For example, the question I got met with when I looked for legal representation previously dealing with this before his death, I don't know which reason I'm seeking legal representation. I know there's an error going on, but I don't know how to work through it. The question the lawyer asked me was, what was my relationship like with my father? I don't get how that matters. Not going into our relationship, whether there was one or not, I don't care. His name was on my birth certificate. We have the same name. There's documentation through the hospital that reflects him being my emergency number and contact during surgeries I had there. I know hospitals' databases hold family records of some sort. If anything, they could have called the next person to fall in line of his, which would have been my mother, but they were recently divorced. But I think they would have still fell down that rabbit hole. But I don't understand, and I don't think I need to understand how we got to the point at which decisions were made on his behalf without my say so. Long story short, like anything else is just like smoke and mirrors. Like, but yeah, that's it.